Testing. Cool. We ready? Okay. Aquaba. Aquaba is a Twi word that means welcome. So when I say Aquaba, you have an opportunity to say Madasi. Madasi is a Twi word that means thank you. So when I say Aquaba, you say Madasi. Congo Square is a historic spot for indigenous people who have a multitude of names. Some Homa, Chickasaw, Chala, Chapasula, and so many more because this was the trail that many indigenous people traveled. It is a place where they offered sanctuary for people who were enslaved, people who were free, people of color, those maroons, those folks who came just to find their family members. It is a place where folks from a multitude of plantations came and sometimes said, have you seen my wife? Have you seen my son? Have you seen my daughter? This is a place where more than 19 ethnic groups came to do their spiritual practices, dances, meditations, music, and sell their wares. In this space, people sold items such as pralines and coffee and other handmade goods to finance their opportunity to purchase their freedom or the freedom of their family members. So actually, when we come to Congo Square, you're standing on sacred space. So you've noticed Nana Sula and I have saged the area. We've provided frankincense and myrrh as a form of cleansing the space and protecting the space spiritually. Because that's what our ancestors did, and it's the lesson we've learned going forward. So as you rest here and stand here today, I invite you to think about the Igbo and the Karaba and the Mina and the Kissi, the Angolans and the people from the Congo and the Mandingos and the Fan and the Fobe people, those who had families who gathered in this space. And every time we come, we pour libations. Libations is an act of remembering, and I did not ask anyone to bring water, but I'm going to ask Nana Sula if she would join us in this process. The other thing about Congo Square that's essential for people to know is that people spoke a multitude of languages. And so in the first prayer that we do today will be in a language that Nana Sula will share with you. I am Reverend Denise Graves of Peace Ministry. I do spiritual leadership and administration for the Congo Square Preservation Society. And I'm very happy that you're here for this an amazing event to support families and children and community. So again, thank you, and here's Nana Sula.
We greet you in the spirit of our ancestors, in the spirit of love, in the spirit of respect and honor. Tonight, the spirit of compassion is here. We thank all of you who have come out to join your hearts with all those who need a hand and all those who need compassion and grace and love and all those things shown towards them. And I thank you so much because we are each other's keepers. So we give thanks. We want to say a prayer. And in the absence of water right now, we are going to let our voices be the water. I will sing a song. This particular song is in the Yoruba language, and it's to Baba, Father Lu Aye, Father of the Earth, which we know as Father God. And this is a prayer for healing, healing upon the earth. We are priests, we are ministers that come to guard this park and to make sure that our ancestors and your ancestors and everyone's ancestors are honored here. So I will sing this song, and my dear sister Denise will say some prayers after a few. But this is for healing, healing and resurrection. Ekwa
So we remember those great and ancient ones as we gather in this place. We offer the opportunity for you to think about your bloodline ancestors, those who have passed away from time, who have separated their spirits from their body. This is an opportunity for us to remember that they have energy always around us, and particularly when we remember them. It is said that if you do not remember your ancestors, they die twice. Once, the separation from the body. The second time is from your memory, from the legacy that they were here to lead. So we pour the blessing upon those who came before us. We remember you in all of your manifestations. We call forth your earnest, honest, most enlightened energy in this present moment. For whatever you did before that was unacceptable and unholy and not sacred, we let that peace go and we call forth the best of you now. We remember those great and mighty elders in our communities who paved the way for us, the us of us to be together, to do this grand moment, to make sure that children are not sleeping on the ground and families are not begging for places to live and houseless people are not held hostage because prices are too high. We pour and remember these wonderful, great, and mighty people. We pray for those who seed into this gift for so many years. We thank you for every nickel, dime, dollar, and million that has been given on behalf of those who seem to be in the moment of the leastness. We remember you and we say thank you for you. And so now I just want to bring us to the moment that we're in, the us of us. I'm going to invite you to stand up for a minute if you don't mind. I want you to bend your knees just a little bit. Move your hip around just a little bit. Just move it around just a little bit. Now when you stand up, I want you to stand up taller than you've ever stood before. And imagine when you straighten up your back and make your shoulders square, that what you're doing now is what I call being shoulder ready. It means that the things that you are doing right now set the terms of how someone will stand on your shoulder, how they'll be on your legacy. That means that the work you're doing right now, we bless it because it's about holy sacredness. It's about compassion. It's about seeing people for who they are and not for who we think they are based upon our own perspectives and judgments. Shoulder-ready people see things through the eye of compassion. Shoulder-ready people speak up when something is not right. Shoulder-ready people make sure that there's adequate health care and housing. Shoulder-ready people make sure there's an equal distribution of wealth. So I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to get ready for it. Are you shoulder-ready people? Are you shoulder-ready people? Because when you realize that your job, the very thing you're doing right now, is setting the tone for what will happen in the present moment and the moments coming thereafter, that means that people who come behind you will have something better. Shoulder readiness is something we work on all of our lives, because shoulder readiness is not just a gift, it's a requirement of being a prosperous, abundant, conscious human being, one who lives in the truth of spirits are all connected. Shoulder-ready people are you and you and you and you and you. So just bend your knees one more time just to make sure you're clear about what you've got to do. Move your hips around so if you get off balance, you're going to be fine. Now stand up tall and think about the people coming behind you, that baby that's not born, the baby that's 2, the person that's looking around trying to figure out if someone loves them. So we're sending a blessing over to you, a blessing of hope, a blessing of comfort, a blessing of provision, the blessing of care, the blessing of affection, the blessing of gratitude, the blessing of recognition to each and every one of you. That's what makes us who we are. We also want to bless those that are on their way, because everything we do right now prepares the world for what's coming. That means our climate work makes the world a better place. Our water work makes the world a better place. The smile we have on our face makes the world a better place. So just look around you and smile at somebody. Just look around and smile. I see you. Just look around. We are not strangers. That is an illusion. We are not separate. That is an illusion. We're connected by spirit and by breath. That's what makes a difference. So I bless you tonight. I bless those that are connected to you tonight. I bless those that are coming after you tonight. And we give gratitude for those who set the stage for you to be here in this present moment. We honor you. We give you all the praise and recognition that is serving you into your highest and greatest good. And I invite you over and over and over and over again to think about being shoulder ready. So if you can agree with me to be shoulder ready, just say shoulder ready. One more time, shoulder ready. Shoulder ready. Look at somebody and say shoulder ready. Shoulder ready. When you walk away from here tonight, be shoulder ready. When you tell people what you learned, saying I was working on being what? Shoulder ready. We greet you. We say thank you. We bless you. You may have your seat in Ashe.
Yemaya sesu, asesu yemaya, yemaya olodo, olodo yemaya. May the Mother and Father of creation bless you all. Thank you. Ashe.
So every Sunday at 3 o'clock, we drum in Congo Square, unless there are other events. It is open to each and every one of you. Before you say, I don't drum, just think about how you learned to walk. You were not always walking. It is something that you learned. You were not always dancing. It's something that you learned. You were not always listening to different sounds. It's something that you learned. So you're invited to come here on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. and drum and dance and bend and experience libations with us and the multitude of talents that come out on this particular Sunday. We do a multitude of things in communities that are rarely seen. But the most thing we do is we bring the spirit of healing through the art and craft of drumming and being together. And accepting our diversity is the one thing that keeps us united. So thank you so much for being here. If you want more about Congo Square Preservation, you can look us up on Facebook. Our website is congosquarepreservationsociety.org. Find us on Instagram. I think it's called Come Sunday. Either way, just remember that whatever you do now, going forward, you're walking in your shoulder readiness. Marasi.
All right, thank you so much, Reverend. And thank you for welcoming everyone to this sacred space. It is sacred for so many, and I'm Katie Moore, and I'm so excited to be here for another year. I'm with WWL TV. I'm an anchor and investigative reporter at Channel 4, just across the street, up the road just a little bit. And I'm really glad to be here. I have worked with Covenant House on a number of stories over the years, and it just amazes me how many times I see the need that they meet. And unfortunately, I have a chance to do a lot of sad stories here in New Orleans. And a lot of times I end up looking at crime, and I look at what happens in those crimes. And I've been doing that lately on some cold cases. And one that I'm working on really made me think about Covenant House. I started looking at the records, and I realized that this cold case was a woman who was just 20 years old, and she ended up in New Orleans from Florida. She had some arrests on her record already for prostitution, and she ended up killed wrapped in a rug here in New Orleans, and her murder has yet to be solved. And the first thing I thought when I started looking at that police report as I was doing my work was, wouldn't it have been amazing if she had been able to access Covenant House and the resources that are here and the welcoming environment that's here? And I just think about that every time I see a case like that or read something about the fact that there is such a need and this place is such a bright light. So I'm so excited to be a part of it, and I'm excited to be here with you all tonight as you all sleep out on this really cold night. But I think we're going to warm things up with this program that we have for you. I want to get to a few housekeeping things to start off just so that we know what's happening as we move forward. But one of the most important things, of course, is the bathrooms, right? We want everyone to know that there are bathrooms in the rear of Covenant House if you need to use them. There are portalettes there, so if you need to use the facilities, that's where to do it. Please silence your cell phones tonight as we move through this program, because we do have a lot of really meaningful conversations and content for you all as we move throughout the program. If you are thirsty, if you are cold, there are stations with hot beverages, water, things like that are located in the back here, not to mention in the Covenant House cafeteria, which is open 24 hours for anybody who might need something there. That's, of course, at 611 North Rampart Street. We also want to thank the police tonight. Can we just give them a round of applause for keeping us safe out here? We really couldn't do it without them, and for keeping everyone safe as they're snuggled in their non-beds for the night. So we really thank them for all the work that they're doing. But without further ado, let's get to the really good part of the program, and that begins with Covenant House Executive Director Renisha Robertson.
Good evening, everyone. It's quite a night. This is a culmination of many, many months and weeks of hard work putting this event together. I want to say thank you to the amazing staff at Covenant House for, on top of all of the hard work and dedication that they give to our young people and to Covenant House, supporting all the work that we do and the services we provide. They take this on as well, and support our development team led by our new director, Melissa Tyler. My hands are freezing, but my heart is warm. And it's warm looking out on this beautiful crowd. People who are braving the cold, who have come for years and years, and some for the very first time, to show their support and dedication to Covenant House New Orleans and the young people that we serve. So my heart is on fire. And I hope that all of you will be able to take that compassion, that dedication, that support, and keep you warm under your blankets and get through the night with us. We've got lots of warm beverages and blankets and pocket warmers and everything you can think of to keep you warm. But we are so grateful for you all showing up. We didn't know how many folks would show up tonight to brave a freeze plan, the city's freeze plan, but we know, just looking at the crowd, and I know, looking at this beautiful crowd, that we have some amazing people in our community that love and care about our young people. And they show up when we need them the most. So thank you. Thank you. Not only are we celebrating our 11th Sleepout event, and we are sharing this night with many other Covenant House sites across the country and Canada and Central America. And we are having our Sleepout event. Not only are we having our 11th Sleepout event, this is the celebration of Covenant House New Orleans' 35th year in this community. What an amazing, amazing testament to hard work, dedication, unconditional love, absolute respect, and relentless support for the young people that we serve. We have young people here, and I want to say to the young people who have entrusted us with their care and support to help them along their way, we love you. We appreciate you for being out here tonight. We are grateful for you being willing to share your story with us. We are so honored to be in your presence and to share this night with us. This is about learning more about the plight of young people who are housed in our community. It is about understanding their challenges, the many barriers that they face along the way in their journey, their life journey. But it's also about celebrating the triumph, the amazing spirit, the resilience, the grit of our young people. Because beyond all the insurmountable odds that they face, and we're talking about 35 years of serving this community and supporting young people in our community, we have success stories. And so this night is also about celebrating them and the hard work that they do every day as they make it through their life journey. And so we want to thank them for being here, thank them for sharing their story, and thank them for being a part of this night. We can't do this without them. So this has been quite a year, right? We've all faced many challenges this year together as a community. You know, we've continued to face the challenges of COVID. Then there's this little thing that came along called monkeypox. So we faced a lot of challenges together, and again and again and again, we see the resilience of this community. I want to just celebrate you all for making it to this night and for being shoulder ready. Right? Ashe. I'm going to call up, we have every year some amazing co-chairs who help us put this event on, and I'm going to call them up to speak. We have our co-chairs for this year's Sleepout, Eric Alexander and Dr. Jay Climahone. In addition to our co-chairs, our fabulous co-chairs this year, we also want to acknowledge an amazing committee of folks. I think this is our first year that we put together an advisory committee to help us, and they showed up week after week to help us bring this all together and put this amazing event on. So if our committee members are in the audience, if you could just stand so that we can recognize you. I think that's Melissa shouting back there. Thank you again. You'll hear from me later in the evening. Again, I am so honored to be here in my second year. I'm making it. And I am so honored to serve our young people and serve this community. I'm going to turn it over to Jake and Eric. Thanks.
Thank you, Renisha, for that welcome. We appreciate you. My name is Eric Alexander, and I'm a board member of Covenant House. And I, as Renisha said, I'm a co-chair of this event. And this is my second year as well here at Sleepout. How many return sleepers we got tonight? Awesome. Good to see y'all again. So why is Covenant House important? Renisha kind of laid out some of the things that they do, but it's important to me because we get to serve the youth. I remember when I was back at LSU, we would go read at the elementary schools, and then when I went to the league, I was in Boston on Tuesdays, which is generally our days off. We would go back into our communities and serve and give back and make sure that we poured back in the community what they were giving to us. So Covenant House is doing that right here in the French Quarter in New Orleans, and they're doing it to help our youth, that our most vulnerable population. You know, we got and Sleep Out as well is very important because it's Covenant House's biggest fundraiser, right? It enables it enables them to be able to provide the services that they have, such as healthcare services and mental health care services, legal aid, and so many other things that they do here in the community. As we go through this night, we encourage you to really take a look around and see the community leaders who have stepped up to the call and really helped put this event together. I'd like to just name a few of them right now. We'd like to thank Transamerica, Hancock Whitney Bank, Immunitech, Patrick F. Taylor Foundation, Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, What You Give Will Grow, Winn-Dixie, Allstate, Beacon Point, Baker Donaldson, Oxner, First Horizon, Emerald Lagasse Foundation, GeoShack, New Orleans Fairgrounds, PSS, Raise Your Voice, Shell, Two Men in a Truck, Downtown Development District, Accenture, Benefits One, Chaps Party Rental, WWL, and Louise H. Moffitt Family Foundation. Thank you to those sponsors, and thank you to the sleepers here as well. It's not easy asking your friends and your coworkers to, throw me a couple bucks for our fundraiser we got going on. But we did it, you did it, and you raised a lot of money to help this great cause, right? Thank you to our virtual sleepers as well, those who are not here. This thing couldn't go on without you, so we really do appreciate you. I'm gonna pass it over to Jake.
Thanks, Eric. So I think about Covenant House a lot and why it's important to me. My first interaction with Covenant House was when I was a pediatric resident at Tulane. My adolescent medicine rotation, I rotated through the clinic here, and I got to meet these resilient young people who, by no fault of their own, have had a difficult time. And I got to see the services that Covenant House provides for these people and helps build them up. I remember when I first started being on the board here, Jim Kelly saying that every child deserves to be loved. And that is so true, and that is why we are all here tonight. I went to training in Colorado, then I moved back here in 2018, and a couple years after that, I got a call from Rich Arnold asking me if I would like to be on the board of Covenant House. And I thought to myself, what do I have to offer the board of Covenant House? I'm not qualified for this. But anyway, I came down again and I met with Rich and I met with Jim, and here I am today. And I got a call earlier this year from Renisha saying, or I think it was a text saying, hey, could you call me? And I called her right away. I thought something was wrong. And then she said, hey, would you be interested in being the chair of this event this year? And I thought to myself, again, well, how am I qualified for this? But we're here and we did it. And we could not do this without all of you. And I want to acknowledge some people here. First of all, Greg Kata. He is right now our highest fundraiser. All you out there listening, try to donate to your friends to try to beat him. The team with the most money right now is one that I'm proud to be on, led by the fearless Reed Wendorf. So thank you to the Outliers and everyone on our team. I think we're going to hopefully be eclipsing $80,000 by the end of this night.
Wow.
A couple of other contributors to this event: Coca-Cola, Liberty's Kitchen, Little Dizzy's, Grill and Chilling, Orleans Coffee, Betty's Bar and Bistro, Cisco, Nola Crawfish King, Robert Fresh Market. And now I'm going to turn it over to Melissa Tyler, who really has put together an incredible event in her first year doing this. So let's give her a big round of applause as we welcome Melissa up here.
Thank you, Jake, and thank you, Eric, and good night, everyone. Hi. My name is Melissa Tyler, and I am honored to be the new Director of Development and Communications here at Covenant House. I have talking points. I want to thank you all for welcoming me into the Cove family. It has been quite the ride since May, and it has been an amazing experience. I just want to share something with you. Last week, one of our Sleepout donors referred to her gift as a, quote, humble donation. I'm just here to tell you no donation is humble. Our Sleep Out is a collective effort to raise funds and awareness. And if we only had a few very large donors, we wouldn't be raising awareness. So, this is about people power, and together, over 1,700 people have helped 25 teams and over 190 sleepers raise, to this point, about $575,000. You should give yourselves a hand of applause. We're gonna get to the goal, 650. I want you all to pull out your phones because I know you have them with you. Please, thank you. I should see lights. I want to see lights. We are on all of the platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on TikTok, we are on Instagram. Go ahead, take a selfie, tell people what you're doing tonight while we have this freeze warning, how you're spending your evening, and why. Because it's your why that's going to inspire people to continue to give. As I shared with that donor, I will share with you. I hope you are as proud of your gift as we are grateful for your support. So let's keep going. Throughout the night, we're going to be posting and really maximizing social media, telling people that we're hashtag ending youth homelessness. We have some student ambassadors here, and I want to point them out because Sleep Out has a future, right? This is year 11, and we need young people in our community to also understand that they have peers who have very different lives than them. So we have some student ambassadors who are going to walk around. There was a yellow card in your bag, and it says, this is why I sleep out. Take your Sharpie, write your why, and when they ask you to take your picture with your card, share it. Tell them why you're doing this. Inspire the next generation to keep this going. That is how we're going to continue to help each other. So I want to call out the 6 schools represented because I'm proud of them and I'm an alum of one. Academy of Sacred Heart, Isadore Newman, Benjamin Franklin, Cabrini, Louise S. McGee, and Metairie Park Country Day. And we're just getting started. I envision all the schools in our community participating in Sleep Out in one way or another. To all of those who have been sleeping with us for many years, in my first year, I want to say you're an inspiration. If you've been sleeping out 9 or more years, please stand and wave to the crowd. I know some of you are out there. All right, all right. Thank you for keeping this going. Thank you for planting the seed that is Sleep Out. I also want to ask you all to join us in honoring 2 other dedicated members of the Cove family. If Renisha will come up. We have a special announcement here.
All right. So we could not celebrate 35 years without recognizing some amazing staff who have been with us 35 years consecutively and 30 years consecutively. We want to honor 2 of our staff who are here tonight, Patricia Pat Slan and Clinton Charlo. Miss Pat, where are you? Come on up, Miss Pat. Come on up. So, Clinton, come on up. So, the reason he keeps showing up for 35 years. It's because of this beautiful woman. And she's going to present him with a little token of our love and appreciation for 35 years of service to Covenant House New Orleans. And, you know, someone who's in the Bamboo Society needs a bamboo for his desk. Thank you, Clinton. We love you. We appreciate you. You're often behind the scenes, but you hold us all together. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, let me just say, I'm really surprised. I was in my office working, getting through what's needed for the audit. That's what I usually do this time of night. But I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm really surprised to see my wife here. But yeah, 35 years of hard work and I guess dedication. But I've enjoyed every year and enjoyed the experiences. And but my season is coming to an end. So, but let's enjoy this night. Thank you.
Thank you, Clinton.
Yes. And to Miss Pat for 30 years of dedicated service at Covenant House, loving children and expressing your love in many ways to the kids, and they feel it. We want you to know that, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Yes. Yes. You want to say some words?
I am so shocked. I can't even speak. It's just a blessing for 30 years, and I was told I wasn't going anywhere. So I'm just so caught up. I let your hair hang. I'm like, what's going on? I work with some beautiful people, and it's just a blessing. I mean, God is good, God is great, and I thank Him for everything that I have, and even in my future. But I think I will continue to work with Covenant House. Okay. So love y'all and thank you so much. Thank you.
And I think we're bringing Katie back up. All right. Thank you, guys.
Wow, isn't that incredible? 30 and 35 years. Can we give them another round of applause? What a well-deserved honor for them tonight. And of course, we're all honored to be here to be a part of this very special night. There are a lot of these sleepouts going on across the country for Covenant House branches all around, even around the world, in fact. So it really is a special time for this organization. And someone who could not be here tonight is the CEO of Covenant House International, Kevin Ryan. But he did want to send us a little message. So let's watch and see what he had to say.
I stepped into Covenant House for the first time. It's hard to believe that all this time has passed. And it all started for me in a beautiful place on Rampart, Covenant House, New Orleans. There was a girl that I was very interested in, and she was volunteering for the year at Covenant House, New Orleans. And I went on and married that girl, and together we made Covenant House the passion and the purpose of our lives and of our family's life. Covenant House in New Orleans is an extraordinary gem in that city. It is a place of hope and healing and opportunity that has helped literally thousands of young people cross the bridge from homelessness and despair to opportunity and hope and embrace the great promise of their lives. And now, as it celebrates 35 years, I just cannot believe it, but as it celebrates 35 years, I'm going to spend my last sleep out as president and CEO of Covenant House on Rampart Street. I can't wait to be with the advocates and the allies and the staff, the volunteers, the donors, the mentors, the coaches, all of the people, the community that makes Covenant House New Orleans special for one night of solidarity to remind the world that we don't have to live in a place where young people experience homelessness. We can, in fact, create a different reality for them. One night of vigil and hope and solidarity. I can't wait. Congratulations, Covenant House New Orleans, for being an icon of love in the world. Thank you for the inspiration that put me on this path 30 years ago. I'll see you soon.
Hello. Can I get Jim and Tom to the stage? We are ready for the panel at this moment. Thank you.
All right, we have a great panel coming up. Jim Kelly, the founding executive director of Covenant House, New Orleans. He's going to be up here. Dr. Deidre Kelly is joining me on stage now to get this thing started. So let's give her a big welcome, okay?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Deirdre Hayes. I'm the board chair of Covenant House. I also hold the honor of being one of the first employees of Covenant House. I was a very young woman. I still am a young woman, but okay. So I was a very young woman, and Jim probably will tell you the story of how I was hired. But when I realized that this was the 35th anniversary of Covenant House, so many memories came back of our first months and years here, and how they not only laid the groundwork for great work in the community, but also how Covenant House laid the groundwork for many careers in the city of New Orleans, including mine, and just the camaraderie that we had, the professionalism that we had, the lessons that we learned was so important to what you see today that goes on at Covenant House today. So who we have here today are some of the first employees. Day one, I still remember the date, December 7th, 1987, is the first day we started at Covenant House. And so I introduce to you Thelma French, Patrice Sams, Dr. Patrice Sams, Jim Kelly, and Tom Costanza. And I'm actually going to remove myself up from the table and have Dr. Gail Wise come up. Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you. I'll just sit to the side.
Yeah, so don't leave. So, okay. Thelma,
Yes, sir.
how about you start off? When you started, and then who's that young person that comes to mind whenever you think of Covenant House, and why?
I actually started a little before December 7th. I was on the initial staff of Rites of Passage, and I think the first person who will come to mind, and there are so many, were the guys in the Rites of Passage boys building, who actually I started in the boys building because we had a little misplanning. We thought we'd have more guys than females. And so we had the larger building. And so I was a male case manager and I had a team of 7. So it's hard to tell you which one of the 7, but they taught me so much. And so I would say the 7 guys who started Rites of Passage.
Hi everyone. It is really wonderful and a pleasure to be here with you tonight. I'm Dr. Patrice Sams Abiadoun. Covenant House was the foundation for me of my professional growth. It was my first professional job. I had just finished a master's in sociology at the University of New Orleans, and I've always had a passion and love for young people. I'm a native New Orleanian, and the issue of homelessness was new for me. I want to thank Jim here. Jim Kelly took a chance on Dr. Deidre Hayes and I because we were just maybe a year or two older if than the kids that we were going to work with. And he believed in us, and we wanted to live up to his expectations. And so I just have such wonderful memories of my time at Covenant House. And the person that always comes to mind for me is a young lady by the name of Robin. And she was a teen mother. I was always interested in issues of teen pregnancy. And when I thought about homelessness, I had never thought about the homelessness and the complexity that our young people right here were dealing with. I thought that homelessness were other people coming, or young people maybe coming here to New Orleans and dealing with it. And so Robin was dealing with a lot of issues at home. She was about 16 years old. She already had a young child. And due to incest and rape, she was pregnant when she came to us. And yeah, I always think about Robin, and she gave birth to a little boy, and the challenges that she had in trying to raise that child. But with the support of Jim, we started a wonderful program called the Grandparents Program that supported both Robin and her young child. So yeah, Robin's always in my heart and spirit.
I'm Dr. Gail Wise. I did not work full time. I was a PRN. I worked part time. My full-time job was with the state of Louisiana Protective Services. So I worked mostly with abuse and neglect with a specialization in sexual abuse and incest. So we did a lot of investigations and providing service and that kind of thing. Well, anyway, I found out about Covenant House, and a lot of my friends, other social workers, were working at Covenant House, right? So I said, okay, well, I'm going to try and apply to Covenant House too. So I started working part-time. I loved working part-time. Can you imagine? The interesting thing about it too was that you would see systems integrate with the kids at Covenant House and the kind and places they had gone and how systems interfaced. So here we were, especially me, working with protective services with the state, working with criminal court, working with juvenile court, working with children from the streets, working with children in foster care, working with children in all kinds of systems, kind of coming together and coming to Covenant House. So there were constant interactions with staff and kids and other systems. I particularly didn't have a permanent position in any particular department. I sometimes work with Thelma, and I think that was maternal health or maternal care. I sometimes worked in rites of passage, which I really enjoyed because that was pretty much supporting youth who were on their way to living independently and seeking careers, that kind of thing. I enjoyed working with the mothers who pretty much were becoming new parents and learning how to mother and nurture their children. I enjoyed that. I was a mother myself at the time, and I had preteens. So I really felt I lent some of my experiential knowledge to the girls here in that particular department. But it was a good experience for me. I love interacting with the kids. It was a fun time, and it was a job that I enjoyed. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks everyone. I started in 1987, and that building is in great shape. Jim did a good job. Then I was in a voc ed coordinator in rites of passage, and then later on we had a non-residential center across the street. And Jim was asking me about an individual, but at that time I was at the Tulane School of Social Work as well, and I wondered about the resilience of these kids. It just amazed me. And I said, well, why don't I hypothesize that why these kids so resilient? They shouldn't be. I mean, they're living on the streets. And what I'd like to say is that self-determination every kid showed, that inner strength was amazing. And so we did this hypothesis that no, they weren't resilient, and it got totally disproved if you ever do social work research, which was a great finding that these kids are self-determined. They need love and care like anyone else, but they're very resilient, and I'd just like to share that as an impactful story, so thank you. Yeah.
So, interesting as whether we call it resilience with a heaping of grace or grace with a heaping of resilience. You know, when you think about our kids and you think about amazing grace, it was an interesting time. They talk about these guys being 2 years older than the kids. Well, I was only 2 years older than they were. Right? I'm telling Deirdre that she's too young to be a person, and I'm 2 years older than she is. But we were really blessed with a wonderful spirit. And going back to those shoulders, these are amazing people up here who went on to have amazing careers, who went back to school, and they set a tone for so many who often went back to school, but always had a love of Covenant House, and many returned. And all of us would think of the young people, and we named one or we named another here, but there are so many. There are so many that we love, and I had a treat, and you're going to have a treat later, I think, with the twins. Is that right?
They're here. They're here.
But anyway, when one of the young people you cared for 35 years ago has gray hair like you, it's like, whoa, we've been at this a while. But what a blessing for tonight for me just to see the twins come back and how well they've done and how proud we are of them.
Yes, yes.
Do you want us to cut off, or do you want us to keep going? All right, we're done. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was short.
Gina and Gina.
You had made your shoulder ready.
Tell him I know he's not talking about Gina and Gina. I see them too often.
Thank you. Okay, while they're doing the housekeeping, I'm just going to stand up here and talk to you guys for a little bit. There are so many people in this audience. I don't know if y'all have really had a chance to look around and see who's sitting next to you, but there are an incredible number of people here who have, as they have mentioned, been loyal to this cause for many, many years. Even some new faces in the crowd, which is always incredible. But it really is an amazing outpouring of support and just fellowship with this organization. So it's such a neat night, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. But we want to talk about the young people, because so many of them have been engaged and involved for so many years in helping other young people really find their way. And that's one of the most amazing things about Covenant House and the work that they do. And it's just incredible. Any elected officials that we have in the audience, I know that there are a number of you out there, and I can't really see you from up here because of the lights, but if you guys could just stand up and let us give you a round of applause for the fact that you're supporting this. Any elected officials, stand up, please. Let's give them a round of applause if we see any of them. No. Okay. Thank you for being here. It really does mean a lot to the organization and to promoting the message and awareness about homeless youth and even trafficking. And we also want to talk to you about the number of others who were involved in this organization and how important it has become in their lives. And so we have a special message from two of New Orleans' own. They are probably known to you all, City Councilman Joe Geruso and Wendell Pierce.
Giving to each other, caring for each other. And a night like tonight is the most important thing for us to realize. Hi, I'm Wendell Pierce. Tonight, we are here to support Covenant House New Orleans. We're here to support them in all the work that they give to young people who are in need, who are looking for that pathway, that light, to give them hope and potential to the great virtues that we support here at Covenant House New Orleans. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you tonight. I'm working here in New York. But remember, New Orleans is about love, giving to each other, caring for each other. And a night like tonight is the most important thing for us to realize. We give love, potential, and hope to those who are in need. So give what you can. No donation is too small. No donation is too big. So all of you who are there sleeping out tonight, connecting with those people who are in need, remember, there but by the grace of God go I. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you, but I'm there in spirit. So thank you for all of your support for Covenant House New Orleans.
Hi, my name is Joe Geruso, Council Member of District A. I'm so sorry I don't have the opportunity to sleep out, but I want to tell you we know how important you are and who you are. Covenant House does incredible work for people who are either find themselves homeless or who have been trafficked before. We want to make sure that you know that the New Orleans City Council is prioritizing ensuring that you are taken care of in this budget cycle. Thank you and God bless.
My name is Michael. I grew up in the really small town there in Guatemala in a really big family. All my love is for my grandmother, my grandparents, because they raised me and they were sending me to school. They were giving me that great opportunity. Every morning, my grandma, hey, wake up, it's time to go to school. And my breakfast, and then beautiful moment like that. The relationship with my mom was not good at all. I didn't feel the love at all from my mother. My mom and my stepfather didn't want me to work. She told me that you both are gonna go to New Orleans and work and then come back, right? But I wanted to be at school. I like school because I think that that's that space where I can be with other people, creating things, building things. I had to work from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. and then before 8 I have to be there at school. So I was feeling so tired every day. After 3 months, everything was changing. My stepfather said that why I have to care about you if you're not my son. He was really angry, and he was hitting me, and then he's trying to push me out of the house, and I don't have nowhere to go. I decide by myself that I'm not going to do the school anymore because it was just too much for me. So I decide to work, just work and pay my bills. I decide to talk to one of my teachers. She told me that don't worry about it, we'll see what we can do. They told me that they found the place, Covenant House, that help youth people in need. It was a place where I can stay. They gave me the opportunity to attend a school. After high school, I want to attend to college. I want to be an architect. I know that nothing is impossible. I can have very big dreams, but if you don't have the right documents to be in one country, you are not like a citizen. So that's why I'm afraid of. I just want to be a new person here.
We're gonna face each other. All right. It's a bright light.
It is, definitely.
All right. Thank you for sharing your story. We're gonna get to learn a little bit more about this amazing person that's sitting in front of me and sitting in front of all of you. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you um, to everybody for being here. I was born in Guatemala, and I'm attending at Sci-High, Science and Mathematics High School. I'm sorry, English is my third language, so and I'm learning French. Well, actually, I know Spanish, a Mayan language, and English, and I'm learning French. So, yeah, um, that's me. That's Michael Harrison, Icopop, and I appreciate you, everything. So, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Michael. Such an amazing young person. In your testimonial, in the story you just shared with us, your story, you shared that you found out about Covenant House. Could you tell us a little bit more about that? How did you find out about Covenant House?
Yeah, actually, like I said in the video, I was attending that school, but I was working as well, but it was like kind of too much for me, so I decided that I'm just gonna quit school and to have a job, right? But and I was talking to my teacher, to one of my teachers, saying that I'm not going to do school anymore, and we were having a conversation, and they said we're gonna see what we can do for you. So and that's why I heard about Covenant House, and I was so happy to hear that I will have the opportunity to attend school. Like I said, I like school. I like to learn, and thanks to Covenant House, now I'm attending that school. I'm a senior, and after high school, I'm planning to go to college. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what was it like first coming through those doors of Covenant House? What was that feeling?
It was so scary for me because I don't know. I had that feeling that maybe I'm doing like I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. It was um, new experience to be in those doors, and but I met such a great people there, such a great staff, and I had that feeling at first that I don't know, maybe maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I didn't know what to do at that moment.
And you felt the staff really supported you and continued to give you encouragement. You feel the staff has been there to support you along the way?
Yeah, actually, thanks to the staff for being um, such a kind people up there. Yeah.
So tell us about your goals. I know you said you want to go to college when you finish high school, your senior year. What are your big dreams and goals for the future?
I want to go to college to study civil engineer. I'm so interested to build things. So that's one of my big dreams, to be a civil engineer and keeping learning French. Yeah. Yes,
And a
civil.
fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth language.
Actually,
Yeah?
my fifth language will be Russian. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. So we already know you love learning. You're teaching yourself multiple languages. You've mastered at least three languages. Tell us a little bit more. I know you have some other talents and passions. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I do activities after school. I play soccer, and this year was my first year to do cross country. And it was kind of okay, we're gonna do it, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So, and I was the first one to go in state competitions, and I'm the first student since the school being started 27 years ago, and it was so great. So I was so happy to represent that school in state competitions for cross country. It was so
That's
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. What brings you joy?
What brings me joy? I think that obviously good things, to be surrounding by great people, and I go to church maybe not every Sunday, but I do, and I like to be busy, so I will keep my mind busy learning. I play the piano and drums. I was one of my lastest songs that I was learning. It was La Vie en Rose. It is a French music, so I really like to play piano. That's one of my lovely things to do in my free time. Yeah.
Well, it has been such a pleasure and a joy for me to watch you grow and to accomplish many things in the time that I've known you. We are very proud of you and all of your many accomplishments. And I'm so grateful that you shared your story with us and allowed all these people to see the beautiful person you are and the beautiful person you are becoming. So thank you for sharing with us, with me, and with all of the people here.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
I'm back. So now I have the pleasure of welcoming some members of our Covenant House staff. These are folks who are out in the community, and you may not have had the pleasure of meeting them before here at Covenant House. And so I thought it was important for you to see these folks and to hear about the work that they do here at Covenant House. It's probably one of the very first, these are probably the very first people that some of our young people meet when they learn about Covenant House and all of the work and the services that we provide. And so I'm gonna welcome up Delita, and she's gonna introduce the rest of the team.
Thank you, Ms. Renisha. Hi, I'm Dolita, and I want to introduce, I am part of the street outreach team. I want to introduce my two coworkers, Tyrone Smith. He is pretty seasoned, and Mr. Rufus Johnson. He is the newest member of our outreach team. So of course they choose, when we're not fussing in the car, we're finding kids to bring into Covenant House. But I want to say the most rewarding job of all is street outreach, because we have to ride around and we have to find kids and we have to get them to trust us. Because most kids, they want to know, why me? Why would you want to help me? And I want you guys to know that Covenant House does so many things that you can't imagine. We don't just provide when most people think about Covenant House, the first thing they think about is a warm place to sleep or a meal. We buy bus tickets. We buy plane tickets. We travel all over the world, making sure certain kids, depending on the situation, gets to their destination. Maybe they could be a victim of some sort of sex trafficking. We do so many things. And even though we are not in the bill-paying business, in certain circumstances, we help kids that are having a hard time again to get back on their feet. And then we have what's called aftercare. So aftercare is when a young person has been housed, and we follow up and make sure that they have things that they need. Because sometimes they're running short, they don't have food to eat, because most of them are working once they transition into housing. And we have gift cards. We give Walmart gift cards. We give Rouse's gift cards. Thanks to your kindness that we're able to help those kids do that. But this is what I absolutely want you to know, and it's so important. The sole reason is that I do this is because it's important to me to foster confidence in kids, because I was an at-risk youth myself. And when I look at kids, I think about my own kids. Because, see, I am only concerned with my salvation. You can't take any of these things with you. So my thoughts are, if I treat these kids right, then someone will treat my grandkids right, or your great-grandkids. And I always, always, always let kids know what's important to them is important to me. So I want to thank you guys so much, big or small. I want to thank you for your continued support, and we love you. Thank you so much for supporting Covenant House New Orleans.
All right, let's give it up for the outreach team again. Without them, I don't know how this would work, both on kids coming in and once they get their wings, making sure that they fly. it is time for a little break. We have about 5 minutes if you guys want to get a cup of coffee and warm up a little bit, get a little glass of water, maybe use the facilities that I mentioned earlier. We've got about 5 minutes to do that. Just a quick little intermission for everybody if you want to just get up and stretch your legs. So we'll be back 5 minutes. We interrupt your regularly scheduled intermission for a quick announcement. Apparently, there is a red Dodge Charger or Challenger that may be blocking one of the people who needs to leave. And I see someone running, so I think we found the person who owns it. All right, resume refreshments.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. We got one more announcement. Okay, what?
All right, I lied. We have one more little announcement. If anybody does not have a parking pass who is across the street, you need a parking pass in order to park there. So if you do not have one, you should go back to registration at Covenant House and get yourself a parking pass just to make sure that your car is there whenever you leave in the morning. So go get a parking pass while we're on this intermission if you have a couple minutes. All right, resume refreshments again. plenty of time. Going again, guys. All right. Unfortunately, the time to refresh is over. And so we want to get back to the program. We have a lot of great stuff still to come. So if you guys wouldn't mind taking your seats, we are going to kick things off for the second half with an amazing performance by Ranjay singing What the World Needs Now. So let's give her a big round of applause as you all make your way to your seats so we can hear her sing. Ranjay.
Hello.
Covers PH.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another medal. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. If you wanna know what the world needs now is love. That there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Oh, everyone. I'm done, y'all. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, that was so good. All right, Ranjay, let's give her another round. That was amazing. All right, the talents and gifts that the youth have who come through this place are unbelievable. I mean, wasn't she incredible? She was so good. And we have another youth that is very talented that we want to introduce you to in this next video.
When I first found out I was pregnant, I was nervous. It was just the fear of me not being a good mom. My whole life, everybody was like, you're gonna be like your mom, you look just like your mom. And personally, I didn't like when they said that because everybody that was saying that didn't really know me and my mom's relationship. Even growing up, I understood like the things that she was doing wasn't right. Her leaving and leaving me by myself. I was really just growing up faster than I was supposed to. To me, she's just not stable enough to be a mother. I didn't have support like I wanted to. I didn't have people I could just go by and stay with them for as long as I needed to. I was looking for stability, as much stability as I possibly could get. I was introduced to the Covenant House. Coming in the Covenant House, being pregnant, I needed to finish my high school, and I got enrolled within like a week of being there. I was surprised that I had gotten into school because I didn't know I was capable of something like that. I didn't want to be like my mom. I wanted to be better. I wanted to let my kid know that I was going to be there for them 100%. I wasn't going to judge them or doubt them or make them feel uncomfortable being with their parent. I want him to know that I'm just going to be there for him no matter what.
All right, isn't that incredible? These stories are just unreal. And the people here at Covenant House get to hear them every day, which is cool for someone who likes to tell stories for a living. So that has to be pretty neat. We also want to meet another young person named Lamira. And we have another video to play for you all to hear that story. So let's take a listen.
I was named by my grandmother, and she named me after a lot of relatives in our family. So my name is Lyric Lamar John Harold Thompson. I've got 5 different names. My mother had me when she was very young. She was about 13. So being that young with a child, you can't imagine how difficult that'll be. We'd move with friends, you know, maybe a fight will happen. Next thing you know, we gotta move again. Same story. I grew up an emotionless kid. To this day, I don't really feel much because that's what I come from. I come from that neglect. I know she did not mean to be neglectful, but still, you know, I'm her first child, my only child. She doesn't really know better. I decided to push for being independent. I know how to survive on the street without even being seen. You wouldn't even know. So I had experience with it. I'd rather have somewhere to stay if I'm gonna leave. I looked up a shelter near me and a Covenant House popped up. And I ended up giving them a call and a lady named Miss Foots answered. She says, Covenant House, New Orleans, how can I help? How you doing? My name is Lyric Thompson. And I was trying to see if you guys had some space. And she replies, yeah, come on down, we got space. When I walk into Covenant House, I feel I can be free and I can be me. I've never really had that type of support. So I'm always being presented with new opportunities to work and get better. I got my first pair of clippers from Mr. David once I told him I was a barber. It's kind of like a magic trick because the client gets in one way and they come out a whole different another way. And it changes their whole mood and aspect on life, honestly. That's exactly what it does. I'm not homeless, I would say, because I've been staying at the Covenant House in New Orleans and that feels like a home. I would say I'm not independent, but we're working on it. Some tricks takes time, you know.
All right. Lyric, can you join me on stage? Yes. So, this was Lyric's first time seeing the video. So, he got to watch it for the first time with all of us. What'd you think?
It was better than I expected.
Well, you're a pretty amazing young person. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And not only sharing your story, but sharing so much about Covenant House and what the work we do here and how Covenant House has helped you. I love the way you talked about being a barber is like a magic trick. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Basically, a magic trick is basically you creating an illusion in a way. You basically changing reality in a lot, in that type of sense. That's what I mean by it. So
Yeah.
you can come in one way, and then I could just change it in a matter of minutes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Right? I think you said Mr. David gave you your first clippers,
Yes,
right?
Mr. David. Yep.
What did that mean to you?
It meant that he cared enough to try to give me something to work with.
I love that. So tell us a little bit more about Lyric. I love Lyric.
Thank you.
Sounds like there's a song behind that story, right? A beautiful song.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
Tell us about your dreams and your goals for the future.
Well, right now I'm just trying to be the best I can and do a lot of stuff for other people. Really, that's what I'm pushing for right now. That's what I try to do. I just try to do for others, cause I know it's gonna come for me eventually if I keep on doing what I'm doing. So I don't really pay too much attention to what I got going on. I try to just be for other people.
Yeah. Well, doesn't seem like he's shy on stage. He's doing a fantastic job, but I know you can sometimes be a man of few words.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more. What do you want the people in this audience to know about Lyric?
I like to be a part of Covenant House team. I try to feel like I'm an employee too. I kind of put in some work. I try to fit in with the coworkers because I try to take it as a job too. I kind of help a lot. I try to be a part of staff in a way. I try to do for people what I couldn't do for myself at some points in my life up until now. But that's basically what I'll be doing. Yeah. That's what I do.
Is there anything else you want the folks in the audience to know about Covenant House, how Covenant House has been a part of your life, and anything you want them to know more about Lyric?
Well, Covenant House is really helpful. That's what I would say. I like to talk about what Covenant House did for me. It gave me an insight, a clear vision on what I need to be doing and where I could get doing that. I feel like it's helped me in crazy ways my family couldn't even help me. It's done a lot for me, more than a lot, really. It's just, it keep giving. It gave me a platform to speak, say some words, even though I don't really like to talk. But
We can't tell.
I don't really, yeah. But it's been very helpful, beyond measure helpful, really.
Well, even in the short time I've known you, Lyric, I've seen a transformation. Just the ability to say more than a few words.
Yeah.
To share your story, and not just share your story, but share words of encouragement. I've seen you be a mentor and a friend.
Try to be.
Support the staff.
Try to.
Be a staff member.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to see you accomplish all of your goals, being a fantastic barber, doing amazing magic tricks.
Yep.
And we just can't wait to see all that Lyric has to offer the world. So thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. It's nice.
Y'all are coming up. You're filling in the chairs. Yeah. Take both of these and hand the other one to Joy. Okay. Hand the other one to Joy. There you go. Excuse me.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joya. I am or was a previous resident of Covenant House, and I went through the program and graduated through the program and am now independently on my own. Um, and thank you. And I'm here with two lovely young ladies who are going to introduce themselves and how they are going through the program. Either one of y'all can start.
My name is Ron J, and I'm 22 years old, and I'm currently a resident now at Covenant House.
How y'all doing? My name is Aranisha. I just made 25, and I used to stay at the Covenant's house.
Okay. And then tell us a little bit about how y'all heard about Covenant House and y'all's story. Also about a little bit about your children, how many children you have and their ages.
Um, how I heard about Covenant House, I looked on the internet for a shelter for me and my son to go. I have a son, he's 2 years old, he just made two, and I have one child.
Well, uh, I have 5 boys. Uh, I tried for a girl, but obviously I can't have any. So I'm done. How I found out about Covington House is I was pregnant with my third boy and I had nowhere else to go. So I looked it up on the internet and I ended up calling. I forgot who picked up the phone, but they was very helpful. I remember Miss Raylan when I first walked in. I'm not sure if she's here. But yeah, that's how I found out about the Covington House.
Okay. And how would y'all say, like, as young parents, like going through Covenant House with your kids, how would you say, like, they've helped you as far as like your parenting skills and just being a parent, things you've learned like being in Covenant House?
Um, when I became a first mother, I was kind of frustrated at first, getting frustrated because I didn't really know what it was like to be a mom. So when I got at Covenant House, I realized that they had parenting classes every Monday or Thursday, so that helped me, and that's about it.
Yeah, the parenting classes pretty much helped me too.
Okay, that's good. I know we had parenting classes too when I was there. And then what are your goals in life? Like, what do you see yourself doing to not only like better yourself, but like help, your children like pave their futures?
Um, I had something that I did write down before we get to the next question.
Okay.
I said when I got to Covenant House, it was a new and great experience for me and my son. I felt like I was in a dark place after my father passed. Then a month later, my child's father passed away.
It's okay. Take your time. It's okay.
So ever since coming to the Covenant House, my child be happy, and I just love to hear him say good morning to everybody. He wakes up happy and he say good morning to everybody, and he have a favorite staff, Miss Lisa. He love all the staff too. I'm finished. Thank you.
Look, I'm trying not to cry in this cold. But thank y'all both for being up here and speaking on behalf of not just yourselves as parents, but on behalf of y'all children. I know I didn't really have anything planned because that was kind of the end of our segment, but as a young mom who's been through this program and faced the same challenges that y'all face, it's very refreshing to see that this program helps us all similarly. even though we come from different backgrounds. So, and I see your face, and I see your face, and y'all are beautiful. And I just want to say, like, thank y'all for even being who y'all are as parents. That's really, really, really motivational in itself as well. So, thank y'all. That was all the time that we had to share.
Thank you. Can we give another round of applause for our last segment? Let us remember these are not just stories. These are brave and amazingly beautiful young people living lives with struggles, living lives with many barriers, many challenges, but living life with joy. So on the other side of pain is joy. And so we celebrate them. We celebrate their triumph over so much adversity, and we thank them for trusting us enough to share their stories with us. So tonight, may we also remember all of the young people experiencing homelessness who have nowhere safe to sleep. Let us pray that they would not give up hope and that tonight would be their last night on the streets. Tonight, let us hold space for the at least 7,877 people experiencing homelessness who died in 73 U.S. cities and counties in 2020. That's astounding. Let us remember children who face deep trauma and hold hope for their healing and the joy, again, the joy that comes in their lives. Looking forward, let us all commit to never give up on our young people. They are the future of our communities, of our families. May we keep our covenant against all odds, even the cold. Thank you to all of you who joined us tonight and shared our program and thus our story on social media across the world. We wish you all a happy and gratitude-filled Thanksgiving as we extend our thanks to you for your support of Covenant House, New Orleans. Thank you.
All right. So I want y'all to do me a favor. Turn around and look at that camera and wave goodbye to the people in social media land because we are ending our live stream, but the program is going to continue. I just want to thank everybody for bearing with us in the cold. Everybody at home, stay warm, enjoy your warmth. I'm a little jealous. It's okay. I do have one quick housekeeping note. At the conclusion of the rest of our live program, we are going to make a couple of changes to our small groups. You should have received a brown paper bag and a label with your small group assignment on it. Everyone in group F, as in Frank, will now be in group C, as in cat. And everybody in group O, as in Omega, will now be in group K, as in kite. Okay? Peace out, y'all.
Hey guys, we're not quite done just yet. We have one more great thing to get to. It's just something that we wanted to do offline. So now that we've stopped the streaming of this program online, we have another very special person who's going to come up here and share their experience with everyone out there. So stay put just for a little while longer until we can wrap up the program with just another incredible person to share their story. But we have topped the 500,000. 500,000? Is that right? $586,000 so far raised for Covenant House. Give yourselves a round of applause because it's thanks to everybody out here tonight, which is amazing. And when you stop to think about all the incredible